The worst farmer deaths ever.
Riding with Grandpa. On June 23, 2025, 4-year-old Maverick Lee Flynn was riding in a combine during wheat harvest on his family's farm in Jackson County, Indiana. Maverick loved everything about farming. He carried toy tractors to church and shared them with anyone who would play. His father was a firefighter, but the rest of the family were farmers, and Maverick wanted to be out there with them. That evening, just before 8 p.m., Maverick begged his great-grandfather for a ride in the combine. Nancy Ann Fox, his 68-year-old great-grandmother, climbed in with the boy. The family called her Nanny. After a while, Maverick and Nanny got out of the combine. The great-grandfather kept working and didn't see them on the ground as the machine moved. The combine struck both of them. Maverick was rushed to Schneck.
I ain't gonna lie, ain't no grandpa, bro. Imagine going out and your granddad did it. I wish my granddad will. His ass a druggie though. My granddad a druggie, so I don't think he'd never run me over.
Medical center and pronounced dead that same evening. Nanny was airlifted to a hospital in Louisville, where she died 2 days later. Friends and neighbors drove their tractors in the funeral procession. One carried a flag that read, "Maverick Flynn, riding tractors with Jesus." Volunteers finished the wheat harvest in 24 hours, work that would have taken the family 12 days. Every 3 days, a child dies in a U.S. farm accident. His family started the Maverick Minute, a call for farmers to pause and check their surroundings before moving any machine. Buried in corn. On July 28, 2010, 3 teenage boys were working inside a grain bin at Hosbach's Grain Complex in Mount Carroll, Illinois. Wyatt Whitebread, only 14, was 2 weeks into his first job. Alex Pacas was 19, an aspiring electrical engineer on his second day, and Will Piper, 20, started the week before. All 3 climbed 4 stories to the top of bin number 9 with shovels and picks. The bin was half filled with 250,000 bushels of wet.
There's no way a 14-year-old can do this fucking job. There's actually no fucking way.
I can't work at McDonald's yet.
Crusty corn stuck to the walls. Their job was to walk on top of the grain and break up the clumps that blocked the drain. Just before 10 a.m., the manager opened 2 floor holes to speed the flow. The corn shifted under their feet and pulled all 3 down. Wyatt was sucked under first and disappeared. Another 14-year-old coworker outside the bin saw what happened and ran for help. Nearly 300 rescuers cut triangular holes around the bin to drain the corn without collapsing it.
So that shit happened, you ain't gonna say RRP?
RP them game, but it's like 14 rows can work there.
That ass.
I can't work at McDonald's yet.
6 hours later, they reached Will, buried up to his neck. When they uncovered Alex next to him, Will had to hug his dead friend's body so they could vacuum the corn from behind him. Wyatt's body wasn't found for another 7 hours. OSHA fined Hosbach $555,000 for 25 violations, one for hiring a 14-year-old for dangerous work. The fine was later cut by 64%. The pump room. On August 20th, 2025, 17-year-old Oscar Espinoza Leos arrived for a shift at Prospect Valley Dairy in Keensburg, Colorado. Oscar was a high school student interning at the dairy with his father and older brother. The 3 Espinozas worked for High Plains Robotics, a contractor that worked on dairy equipment. That afternoon, the crew was repairing the manure system. A pipe disconnected. Manure water and hydrogen sulfide gas poured into the enclosed pump room. A High Plains worker and a dairy employee rushed in to stop the flow. Both collapsed within...
Bro, these niggas making me scared to get a job.
Man,
then I'm forming minutes like Missouri, bitch ass. They making me scared to get a job. Like, I don't even want to work at McDonald's no more. Nigga might walk there with Drake and shoot my ass.
Seconds.
Shut the fuck up.
Hydrogen sulfide kills in a single breath. 3 more High Plains workers and another dairy employee went in one by one to help. None of them had gas detectors. Each one fell before reaching the others. Firefighters arrived at 6 p.m. and pulled 6 bodies from the pump room. The dead ranged in age from 17 to 50. Oscar's father, Alejandro Espinoza Cruz, 50, was among them. So were his older brother Carlos Espinoza Prado, 29, and his in-law Jorge Sanchez Pena, 36. 4 members of one Latino family died in the same room in minutes.
Dang.
OSHA fined the dairy and 2 contractors $246,609 for not training workers about hydrogen sulfide or the dangers of tight spaces. The accident became the deadliest day in U.S. dairy farming history. One by one. On July 26, 1989, Carl Theuerkauf Jr., 37, climbed down a ladder into the manure pit at his family's dairy farm near Menominee, Michigan. The Theuerkauf family had run Elmbrook for 5 generations and had just celebrated the farm's 100th anniversary. It was the largest dairy in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. That morning, Carl Jr. needed to fix the agitator inside the 12-foot concrete pit. Methane is invisible and odorless. Hot, humid weather that week had made the manure produce more methane than usual. Carl Jr. passed out while climbing back up the ladder. He fell to the bottom of the pit. His 15-year-old son Daniel climbed down to save him. Daniel collapsed within 90 seconds. Carl...
See, if this nigga ever collapse on something, I'm not about to think, oh, let me save this nigga. No, nigga.
So, nigga, you gonna leave me there to die?
Nigga, he just died. Had to start trying to save his dad.
So you should leave me there to die?
Yes, nigga.
Bitch, call the police.
Oh, they might die too.
Jr.'s 28-year-old brother Tom went down next to help. He fell beside them. Their cousin Bill Hofer, 63, climbed in after them. Then Carl Toyerkoff Sr., the...
If y'all seeing these many niggas going out, why the fuck are y'all still trying to help each other?
Like, the whole family generation just died.
65-year-old grandfather went in last. Within 5 minutes, all 5 were dead in a foot of manure. The methane knocked them out before they drowned. The Toyerkoff widows and children were left to run a 100-year-old dairy farm. Newspapers carrying the story sold out. 200 mourners packed the funeral, and a 1-mile line of cars followed the hearses to the country cemetery.
Damn.
Carl Sr. would have turned 66 the day they were buried. It remains the worst farm accident in Michigan history. The one cow. On September 12, 2024, Randy Lacey walked out to his cattle trailer in Wythe County, Virginia.
3 days before my birthday. Hold on, slow the fuck down, bitch.
Lacey had farmed cattle for more than 30 years. He raised Angus, Hereford, and mixed breeds. That morning, he was loading one of his Angus cows into the trailer to take to market. He had done this hundreds of times. His wife, Debbie, was on the front porch. Their daughter, Molly, was helping him load the cow. Debbie hollered to ask if anyone needed help, then went back inside. Seconds later, Debbie heard screaming. The family was screaming her name, and so was Randy. The Angus charged. She pinned Randy against the trailer and crushed him. 5 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, a ruptured bowel, a lacerated kidney, and a ruptured spleen. Septic shock set in. Randy fought for 20...
I don't think I'd never get a big-ass animal if it was not a dog or a cat.
Man, I'm dead not getting
I'm not getting no big-ass animal that belongs in a fucking zoo.
8 days. The Lacey family sat with him at the hospital. Doctors moved him to hospice when it became clear he would not make it. He wanted to die at home, so the family brought him there for his final 4 days. He died on October 13th. Farming is the deadliest job in America. Cattle alone kill about 20 American farmers each year. Randy Lacey had loaded cows into trailers his whole life until that day. The one cow he could not see coming finished him in seconds. Father's Day rule. On Father's Day, June 17th, 2018, 58-year-old Ralph Griesbaum was burying a dead cow in a ditch on his cattle farm in Marion County, Missouri. The Griesbaums had been farming the same hills above the Fabius River since 1894. Ralph was the 4th generation. He ran the local farm bureau, did auctions on the side, and called square dances on weekends. That fall, he was running for county commissioner. Friends and neighbors knew him for his black cowboy hat and his smile. His wife had retired from teaching 1 month earlier. The two had been high school sweethearts and married 2 weeks after her graduation. Their children and grandchildren were back at the house, waiting for a Father's Day get-together. Ralph had buried plenty of dead cows in his time. He was driving a cabless tractor his father had bought the year Ralph was born, with no roll bar or seatbelt. As Ralph worked on the slope, the tractor tipped sideways and rolled into the ditch, landing on top of him as he tried to jump off. By the time the family found him, Ralph was already dead. A memorial fund paid for a rollover exhibit at the Missouri State Fairgrounds. Rollovers kill more American farmers than anything else. His daughter, Lacey, still farms the same land where Ralph died, and no tractor without a roll bar has run there since.
His daughter a thug, because I'd be damned if I was still forming the same form my dad died at.
Man.
The canola truck. On October 13th, 2015, 13-year-old Caddy Bott and her 11-year-old twin sisters Dara and Jana were playing on a grain truck at the family farm near Withrow, Alberta. The Botts farmed in west central Alberta. Roger and Benita homeschooled the girls and helped lead the singing at the Withrow Gospel Mission. Katie had just turned 13 the month before. Dara and Jana were twins, one born just before midnight, the other just after. It was the middle of fall harvest. Just before supper, a truck fully loaded with canola sat in the farmyard. Canola is a tiny grain that acts like quicksand. While the truck was being unloaded, the girls fell into the canola and sank within seconds, the grains filling their lungs and cutting off oxygen. Their parents and neighbors pulled them out and began CPR. Emergency crews kept up CPR and oxygen for 2 hours, but but Katie and one of the twins died at the scene. The third sister was airlifted to Stollery Children's Hospital in Edmonton, where she died at 3:18 a.m. the next morning. In the days after, neighbors brought their own trucks and combines to finish the bot's harvest. The deaths sparked calls across Canada for safety education about grain trucks. Roger and Benita put out a statement saying they did not regret raising their 3 daughters on the farm. It had been their life. After the dog. On September 15, 2012, Ulster...
Okay, bitch. Okay, bitch. Nah, that's my fucking birthday. So I don't know why. I don't know what's up with this fucking video right here. But bitch, that's my fucking birthday. And I don't know why your bitch ass laughing in the back.
Rugby player Nevin Spence was loading firewood with his brother Graham at the family farm near Hillsborough.
And my last name is Graham, bro. Y'all niggas.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, they trolling him, yeah. They did.
Northern Ireland. Nevin was 22 and had played 42 games for Ulster, plus 1 game for Ireland that May. His older brother Graham was 30, married with 2 small children. Their father Noel was 52, and the family went to Ballynahinch Baptist Church. Just as Nevin was called in for dinner, the family's collie dog fell into the slurry tank under the calf shed. Slurry gives off hydrogen sulfide, a gas as deadly as cyanide. Graham climbed down a ladder to find the dog, and the gas knocked him out after about 20 seconds.
I don't give a fuck if my dog's drowned in some fucking gas. I'm not running down there, nigga. At all. Nigga, you die, nigga. All dogs go to heaven, not all humans, nigga. At all.
Nevin went in to save his brother, and their father Noel followed to save both his sons. All 3 passed out face down in less than 4 feet of slurry. Their sister Emma climbed in after them. With help, she pulled her father out, then went back for her brothers. The gas got her too, and neighbors had to pull her up the ladder before she drowned. All 3 men died at the scene, but Emma pulled through. The coroner called it the worst farming accident in Northern Ireland in 20 years. Slurry warnings later spread across the British Isles. The family said the 3 men were close in life and had died trying to save each other. They were buried together at Inch Cemetery. The next week, rugby games across Britain and Ireland held a minute's silence for Nevin. Ulster held a memorial service for him at their home ground, Ravenhill Stadium, on Sunday, September 23rd. Liquid gold. Before dawn on August 15, 2016, 29-year-old Mike Biadas was stirring manure in the open lagoon at his family's beef farm near Amherst, Wisconsin. Mike was the only son of Bob and Diane Biadas, who ran the
Come on, bro. I think he died, but y'all ain't have to get that picture of him. Y'all could have found a whole different picture. I ain't had to get that picture of him, nigga.
4th-generation beef farm together. That morning, Mike had posted a Snapchat of the manure he was about to stir, calling it liquid gold. A heavy fog had settled over the farm, with no wind to clear it. Manure gives off hydrogen sulfide, a gas that can kill in seconds, and on a still day, it has nowhere to go. As Mike used a tractor to stir up the manure, the crust on top broke open and released the buildup of gas underneath. The fog and still air trapped the gas in a dome over the lagoon. Mike died within seconds. His co-worker Steve Burklaw arrived to help haul manure and found Mike dead at the edge of the lagoon. 16 cattle nearby had died too. The coroner blamed the deaths on a rare mix of weather and gas. His death sparked calls across America for safety education about manure pits. Mike's family set up a memorial fund and donated $40,000 toward gas monitor rebates for farmers in Wisconsin and beyond. Wisconsin declared August...
I wish I had 40K, nigga. Bro, why do y'all keep giving these shitty pictures of him, bro?
Y'all doing her wrong, yo.
Damn.
Pictures of that man.
August 15th, Mike Biadas Day. A wooden cross now stands at the edge of the lagoon where he fell. The loose seat. On July 11th, 2014, 68-year-old Dwayne Merrill was baling hay on his farm in Hamden, New York, where he had lived his whole life. Dwayne had studied farm engineering at Cornell, then come home and started Hilldale Farms with his wife Peg in 1969. He also drove the school bus and was the town judge of Hamden for 18 years. People knew him for his big laugh. That afternoon, Dwayne was working alone in the field with a round baler hooked to his tractor. The baler runs off the tractor's power takeoff, or PTO shaft, pulling hay through steel rollers that wrap clothes and bodies in seconds. And it doesn't stop if you fall. The seat of Dwayne's tractor came loose under him, and he tumbled backward to the ground between the 2 machines. The PTO shaft grabbed his shirt and dragged him into the rollers. A passing driver on Chambers Hollow Road saw the tractor sitting in the field with no one at the wheel and called 911. Firefighters from Delhi and the Walton Emergency Squad showed up in minutes, but Dwayne was already gone. The coroner ruled it an accident. PTO entanglements kill or badly hurt hundreds of farmers every decade, and most die before anyone can turn off the engine. After 45 years on Hilldale Farms, the Cornell-trained farm engineer was killed by a faulty tractor seat inside the silo. On September 21, 2022, the Byler family was working in a silo on their Amish farm in Potter Township, Pennsylvania. The Bylers lived in Penns Valley, 30 miles from State College. They had filled their 70-foot silo with silage days before. Fresh silage ferments and releases carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, which fill a sealed silo and kill in minutes. That morning, the 19-year-old son climbed into the silo to work, and the gas knocked him out. His father, Andrew, 47, went up to look in and saw him lying on the silage.
Damn.
Andrew jumped in to help and dropped in seconds. His 14-year-old son tried to pull his father and brother out, and all three died inside. Firefighters from 5 companies arrived at 7 a.m. and set up 2 fans, one to pull toxic air out and one to push fresh air in. They kept the fans running for more than 4 hours, but the Bylers were already dead. OSHA was called to the farm, but didn't investigate. Amish family farms with no employees aren't covered by federal workplace safety rules, and the deaths were ruled accidental. 6 months earlier, a 16-year-old boy had been crushed under a horse-drawn manure spreader on the same farm. Pennsylvania had recorded 16 farm deaths the year before.
On the same farm, so a
That
nigga
farm
died on that
cursed.
farm 6 months ago, damn.
And this one
That-
address produced
That shit, 100.
Man.
4 of its own in 2022. The pink wheat. In September 1971, Iraq bought 95,000 tons of seed wheat
Why the fuck is everything in September, bitch? Switch the months.
from the United States and Mexico. The country had suffered a drought. Farmers needed grain to plant for the next season. The shipment arrived in late summer, far too late for fall planting. The seed wheat had been treated with methyl mercury, a fungicide to prevent rot during shipping. The grain was dyed bright pink, with warnings in English and Spanish. It was meant for planting, not eating. Iraqi farmers spoke Arabic. Farmers across Iraq got the bright pink grain. With no time to plant and hungry mouths to feed, they used what they had. Many tried to wash the dye off. The chickens that ate the grain died first. Most ground the wheat into flour and baked it into bread.
Why the fuck is you touching me and shit?
I'm not trying.
Like, stop fucking touching me, bro.
I'm not trying to touch you.
For their families. Mercury poisoning takes weeks to show. By the time people got sick, families had been eating the bread for months. They lost feeling in their hands and feet, then their speech, then their sight. Many lost control of their muscles. Babies were born with brain damage and never learned to speak or walk. The Iraqi
Damn.
government covered up the death toll. Officially, 459 people died. Experts
Damn.
later estimated the real number was in the thousands, with up to
Dang.
100,000 farmers and their families exposed. It is still the largest mass mercury poisoning in human history.
What the fuck?
If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe.
Don't subscribe to this nigga. Subscribe to me. Shut the fuck up.